It's the last week of the month. You're eating ramen for the third night in a row, dodging calls from your mom because you still owe her money, and praying your card doesn't get declined when you buy toilet paper. Sound familiar? Congratulations, you're officially broke. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. Welcome to Budgeting Basics, where we're about to turn your financial life from broke to boss. Let's be real for a second. Being broke isn't just about not having money. It's a cycle, a mindset, a way of life. You get paid, you feel rich for a day or two, you splurge, and then you're back to counting pennies until the next payday. Rinse and repeat. But here's the kicker. It's not about how much you make. I've seen people making six figures who are still broke, and I've seen people on modest incomes living their best financial lives. The difference? Budgeting. Now I know what you're thinking. Budgeting is boring, it's restrictive, it's for old people. But let me tell you something. Being broke is way more restrictive than any budget could ever be. So why does traditional budgeting advice fail so many of us? Because it's usually unrealistic and, frankly, kind of boring. You've heard it before, right? Make a spreadsheet, track every penny, cut out all fun. Yeah, because that's totally sustainable when you're trying to live your best life. Here's the truth. Budgets that are all about restriction are doomed to fail. It's like going on a crash diet. Sure, you might stick to it for a week or two, but eventually, you're going to crack and go on a spending binge. And let's not even start on those budgets that tell you to cut out your daily coffee. Like that $3 latte is the reason you can't afford a house. Please. Before we get into the how of budgeting, we need to talk about the why of spending. Because let's face it, we're not always rational when it comes to money. We buy things to make ourselves feel better, to keep up with the Joneses, to fill some void in our lives. And thanks to social media, we're constantly bombarded with images of what we should be buying, where we should be traveling. But here's the thing, that instant gratification of buying something new, it's fleeting, and it's keeping you broke. Understanding why you spend is the first step to changing how you spend. Are you an emotional spender? A social spender? Do you buy things out of boredom? Identifying your spending triggers is like finding the cheat codes to the game of personal finance. All right, let's get into the heart of it. How do you actually budget without wanting to pull your hair out? First up, the anti-budget. Yeah, you heard that right. Instead of tracking every penny, just focus on two numbers, your income and your savings. As soon as you get paid, immediately transfer a set amount to savings. Whatever's left is yours to spend guilt-free. It's simple, it's effective, and it doesn't require a PhD in spreadsheets. Next, we've got the 50-30-20 rule. This one's a bit more structured, but still flexible. 50% of your income goes to needs, rent, food bills, 30% to wants, fun stuff, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. The beauty of this system is that it builds fun into your budget. Because let's face it, a life without any fun is not a life worth budgeting for. Lastly, there's the envelope system. This one's old school, but it works. Divide your spending into categories, take out cash for each category, and put it in labeled envelopes. When an envelope is empty, that's it. No more spending in that category. It's a great way to make your spending tangible in our increasingly digital world. The key with all of these methods? Find what works for you. Maybe it's one of these, maybe it's a combination. The best budget is the one you'll actually stick to. Now let's talk tech. Because it's 2024 and there's an app for everything, including not being broke. There are apps that can sync with your bank accounts and credit cards to track your spending automatically. No more manual data entry. There are also apps that round up your purchases and invest the spare change. It's like tricking yourself into saving. And don't overlook the budgeting tools your bank might offer. Many banks now have features that categorize your spending and alert you when you're going over budget. But remember, these are tools, not magic wands. They can help you track your money, but they can't make the tough spending decisions for you. That part's still on you. Let's get real for a second. You're going to mess up. You're going to have months where you blow your budget. And that's okay. The key is to not let one setback derail your entire financial journey. Had a spending slip up? Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. And those spending temptations? They're not going away, but you can outsmart them. Unsubscribe from store emails, delete shopping apps from your phone, and for the love of all that is holy, stop hate following Instagram influencers who make you feel bad about your life. Remember, budgeting isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every day you stick to your budget is a win, no matter how small. Look, being broke isn't a life sentence. It's a temporary state that you have the power to change. Budgeting isn't about restricting your life. It's about creating the freedom to live the life you want. It won't always be easy. There will be times when you want to throw in the towel and go on a spending spree. But stick with it, because on the other side of that budget is financial freedom. And trust me, that feels a hell of a lot better than being broke. So are you ready to stop being broke and start being a boss? Your financial future is waiting.